Most people are emotional slaves and they don't even know it. One wrong word from someone, one dirty look, one moment of disrespect, and they spiral. They lose focus. They react. They give their power away like it's working. Every single day, they allow strangers, friends, family, even internet trolls to control how they feel. That's not strength. That's not emotional intelligence. That's weakness disguised as normalcy, and it's destroying your potential. The truth is this: the world is not going to stop trying to provoke you. People will insult you. They'll mock your success. They'll test your patience. They'll throw shade on your dreams. But here's what separates the weak from the strong. The weak react. The strong rise above it. You want to win in life, then you have to become untouchable. You have to build a mind so unshakable that no insult can find its way in. No negativity can stick. You walk through storms with your head high and you're so calm. You stare down chaos and refuse to flinch. Why? Because you are not here to live at the mercy of other people's moods. You're not here to be emotionally manipulated. You're here to dominate your life, control your mind, and never again give your peace away to people who haven't earned a second of your attention. This is not about becoming cold or numb. It's about becoming bulletproof. It's about mastering your reactions, owning your emotions, and never again letting anyone decide how your day will feel. This is a war for your mind, and it's time you start fighting back. So if you're ready to take your power back, here are the 5 iron strategies that will teach you how to master yourself so deeply that no one can ever upset you again. 1. Decide that your peace is non-negotiable. There comes a day, or it must come, when you slam your fist on the table of your own life and say, no more. No more being shaken by the careless words of temporary people. No more feeling like your emotions are public property for anyone to manipulate. No more letting someone else's chaos become your personal storm. That day, you don't just whisper about peace. You don't wait for it to show up like a guest you hope will visit. You claim it, you declare it, you take it. And once you have it, you protect it like your life depends on it, because the truth is, it absolutely does. Peace isn't what you feel when everything around you is calm. That's convenience, not power. Peace is what you maintain when the world is on fire, when people lie to your face, when someone you love turns on you, when your name is dragged by cowards. Peace is forged in pain, tempered by betrayal, and protected by discipline. It's built in silence, when you've cried every tear and bled through every wound, and yet you're still standing. Peace is what remains when the noise can't reach you anymore. The moment you decide that your peace is non-negotiable, you instantly rise above the battlefield. You no longer argue with fools because the throne you sit on does not belong to peasants. You no longer flinch at disrespect because your energy is too expensive to be spent correcting every clown. You no longer explain your boundaries because they are not open to debate. You stop reacting and start mastering. Your silence becomes a weapon. Your lack of response becomes a revolution. And your peace becomes a shield that no emotional bullet can pierce. Let them gossip. Let them twist your truth. Let them call you cold, distant, arrogant. That's the price of no longer bleeding for people who wouldn't even hand you a Band-Aid. That's the cost of rising. That's the tax on power. People are going to hate the version of you that they can't shake anymore. And that's good, because that version, that's the one that was always buried beneath your pain, just waiting to emerge. Peace is not comfort. Peace is dominance over chaos. And the most powerful man or woman in the room is not the loudest, not the one clapping back, not the one fighting to be understood. So one sitting in stillness, unmoved, unbothered, untouchable, that person, they've decided, they've drawn the line, they've made their peace sacred. And once you get there, once you choose to never give away your inner calm, tolerant madness, you stop being reactive and start being dangerous. Because a person who cannot be upset is a person who cannot be controlled. 2. Stop expecting emotional maturity from emotionally broken people. One of the greatest sources of pain in your life isn't what people do to you. It's what you expect them to be, and then they fail over and over again. You keep getting hurt because you keep handing fragile, immature, unhealed people the authority to influence how you feel. You give your emotional safety to someone who hasn't even done the work to hold their own. And when they inevitably drop it, when they lash out, ghost you, manipulate you, blame you, you act surprised. You act shocked. Deep down, You knew they weren't built to hold your soul. Stop expecting depth from someone who's never dared to go beneath the surface of their own pain. Stop expecting consistency from someone who is at war with themselves every day. Stop expecting kindness from someone who uses cruelty to hide their fear. Stop expecting accountability from someone who has never once apologized in the mirror. You're demanding wisdom from children in grown bodies. You're begging broken hearts to love you with wholeness. That's not strength. That's self-destruction disguised as hope. You have to understand something very clearly. People can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. If they haven't faced their trauma, they'll project it onto you. If they haven't taken responsibility for their life, they'll blame you for everything wrong in theirs. If they don't know how to love themselves without conditions, they'll make you earn their approval like a game you never agreed to play. And if they haven't found peace within, they'll burn your peace down just to feel powerful again. Stop being surprised when emotionally immature people disappoint you. They are not betraying you. They are revealing themselves. They're not changing on you. They were just wearing a mask that couldn't survive the pressure of your truth. Emotional immaturity is not just an inconvenience. It's a warning sign. It's a red light screaming, don't build here. And if you ignore it, you will end up rebuilding yourself again from the wreckage of someone else's instability. The moment you stop expecting emotional maturity from the emotionally broken is the moment you reclaim your power. You begin to choose relationships based on reality, not on fantasy. You start protecting your energy like it's sacred, because it is. You stop over-explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop trying to fix someone else's wounds at the cost of reopening your own. You are not born to be someone's emotional punching bag. You were not created to carry the emotional labor for people who refuse to grow. Let them stay in their cycles. Let them spin in their chaos. But you're building a life of clarity. You're choosing connections that breathe peace into your life, not confusion. You're raising your standard not just for how you're treated, but for how much you're willing to tolerate from the emotionally irresponsible. One piece, start by protecting it from people who never learned how to create their own. 3, learn the art of detachment. It will save your sanity. There's a kind of power that doesn't scream. It doesn't fight. It doesn't beg to be heard. It simply walks away calmly, quietly, and completely. That power is called detachment, and mastering it will save your mind, your emotions, your energy, and your soul. Not detachment as in becoming cold or heartless, but detachment as in reclaiming your peace by refusing to be emotionally enslaved by things you cannot control. Too many people are addicted to emotional chaos. They tie their happiness to people's opinions. They let their day get ruined because someone ignored them, someone misunderstood them, someone didn't show up the way they hoped. That's emotional slavery. And if you don't cut the cord now, you'll spend your whole life dancing like a puppet every time someone else pulls a string. Detachment is the scissors. It's not apathy, it's self-respect. Detachment means you stop reacting to everything. You don't flinch every time someone disrespects you. You observe, you decide, you respond with clarity or silence, not emotion. You don't chase after apologies that were never offered. You don't try to change people who show you with their actions. They are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop needing validation because you built a foundation within that no one can shake. Understand this. Detachment is not giving up, it's leveling up. It's knowing where your power ends and where someone else's begins. It's choosing peace over proving your point. It's choosing to walk away instead of staying just to be right. It's realizing that when people show you who they are, you believe them. And then you act accordingly, not emotionally. You become unstoppable the moment you detach from the outcome. When you stop needing people to like you, they lose control over you. When you stop tying your self-worth to someone else's ability to see your value, you start operating from power, not desperation. When you stop fighting battles that aren't yours, you finally have the energy to win the ones that are. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. Most of the suffering in your life doesn't come from what happened. It comes from your attachment to how it was supposed to be. Your expectations, your fantasy, your desire to control what was never yours to control. That's what breaks you. Let it go. Not with bitterness, but with boldness. Because you were not born to be an emotional prisoner. The strongest version of you is not the one who wins every argument. It's the one who doesn't need to argue at all. The version of you who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't plead. Just let's go with dignity. Detachment is your sword. Use it. Because when you finally learn to let go of what's breaking you, you open your hands to everything meant to build you. 4. Silence is a weapon. Master it in a world addicted to noise. The man who masters silence becomes dangerous, not passive, not weak. Dangerous because silence is not the absence of power. It's the presence of control. It's the refusal to waste energy on proving your worth, explaining your truth, or reacting to every insult. It's the calm before the storm. And sometimes it's the storm itself. Understand this. Most people speak because they're insecure. They need to be heard, to feel validated. They react out of fear. They argue to assert dominance. But the strongest individuals don't need to announce themselves. They let their presence do the talking. Their silence unnerves people because it forces others to sit with themselves. And nothing is more uncomfortable to the insecure than facing their own emptiness in the presence of someone who is complete without their approval. Silence is precision. When you speak less, your words hit harder. When you move in silence, your actions are louder than anything you could have said. It keeps your enemies guessing and your power protected. They don't know what you're thinking, planning, or feeling. And that mystery, that unpredictability is power. And make no mistake, silence is not cowardice. It's not cowardice, it's strategy. You don't ever want a reaction. You don't need to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't need to defend your decisions to people who have never built anything themselves. Well, silence speaks for you. I don't need you to understand me. I need you to stay out of my way. You want respect? Ooh, oh, respect. Stop broadcasting your every move. Stop venting your emotions to people who weaponize your vulnerability. Stop giving people front row seats to your internal battles. Let them wonder. Let them gossip. Let them project. You keep building. You keep working. You keep working. You keep working. And when the results show up, they'll say, I never saw it coming. And you'll smile because they weren't supposed to. Her most powerful men in history weren't the loudest in the room. They were the ones who only spoke when it mattered. And when they did, everyone listened. Because their silence made their words valuable. You want to be that man? Then start training your mind to speak less and observe more. To hold your emotions with strength, not leak them out in desperation. To sit with discomfort without needing to react. Let your silence haunt those who tried to break you. Let it speak volumes to those who expect you to explain yourself. Let it build an aura so unshakable that people fear crossing you, not because you yell, but because they know your silence holds the weight of 1,000 storms. Silence is a weapon. Wield it with precision, because when you don't speak every time you're triggered, you stop being predictable and start being unshakable. Walk away like you're worth everything, because you are. There is a moment. Burn it into your soul. When you stop explaining yourself, stop defending yourself, stop begging to be seen, and you just walk away. And not with bitterness, not with rage, but with the quiet, undefeated power of someone who finally knows their worth. That moment is sacred. It's the moment you reclaim every ounce of dignity the world tried to rip from you. Let them talk. Let them mock. Let them believe they were won. Because in truth, the one who walks away is the one in control. Not because they couldn't fight, but because they realized it wasn't worth it. You weren't created to beg for respect. You weren't designed to convince anyone of your value. Your soul is not up for negotiation. And when someone treats you like you're replaceable, like your presence is a nuisance, like your voice is too loud, or your dreams are too much, you don't lower yourself to match their comfort. You rise so high they can't even see you anymore. Walking away is not weakness, it's warrior discipline. Because it takes far more strength to leave behind toxicity than to stay and try to fix what was never yours to carry. It takes mental armor to say, I don't care. If they like me, I care. If I respect me, and that's the game changer. That's the shift from desperation to domination. From survival to sovereignty. This world will test you. People will take and take and take and take until if you let them. But the moment you stop tolerating disrespect, the moment you enforce your boundaries like a lion guards its territory, that's when life changes. You train people how to treat you by what you allow. And if you allow disrespect, you become a doormat. But when you walk away without hesitation, you become a storm. And let this be clear. You don't walk away with your head down. You walk away with your chest out, your mind clear, and your purpose locked in, because you know that anything or anyone that costs you your peace, your clarity, your self-worth is too expensive. You're not running from something, you're rising above it. You're not giving up, you're leveling up. You're not broken, you're done being bent. You don't beg to be chosen. You don't plead to be heard. You walk away like the world needs to catch up with your value. Because the minute you do, something shifts inside you. Your energy becomes sacred. Your time becomes priceless. Your presence becomes a privilege, not a guarantee. So walk away from fake friendships, from half-hearted lovers, from passive-aggressive manipulators, from those who only call when they need something, from those who smirk at your pain and laugh at your ambition. Walk away like you are the most powerful thing to ever enter their life, because you were. And when they look back and realize what they lost, let your silence be the only answer. You got a life to build, a fire to feed, and a future to dominate. Let the rest burn behind you. Let the world rattle, but never let it shake you. You've been lied to your whole life. They told you that being emotional means being weak, that staying calm means you're passive, that holding your peace means you're letting people walk all over you. But they were wrong. Because the real power is not in the explosion, it's in the control. The real strength isn't in fighting every fool who crosses your path. It's in being so focused, so grounded, so unshakably built from within that no one gets to touch your peace. The truth is this: life will never stop throwing disrespect your way. People will provoke you, try you, misunderstand you, and sometimes even hate you for no reason. But that's not the enemy. The real enemy is how easily you let them invade your mind, hijack your emotions, and drag your energy into the mud. The secret isn't to change the world, it's to master yourself. Because when you no longer allow people to upset you, you don't just win the moment, you win your life. You free your mind from their prison. You break the cycle of reacting like a puppet pulled by everyone's strings. You stop giving power to those who don't even deserve your attention, let alone your peace. That's the moment you become untouchable, not because the world changed, but because you did. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. This is about becoming a fortress, solid, calm, sharp, unbothered. You respond with silence when they scream. You walk away when they beg for drama. You protect your inner space like it's the only kingdom you'll ever rule, because it is. So from this day forward, no more letting clowns upset the king. No more handing over your sanity to the unstable. No more shrinking your strength to make others comfortable. You are the gatekeeper of your peace, the guardian of your soul, and the master of your reaction. Let people throw shade. Let the noise roar. Let the world misunderstand you. You are not here to react. You are here to rise. And once you fully grasp that, no one will ever be able to upset you again. Would you like a full version of this speech compiled as one document?